Alright guys, I've got a 10-minute on the board. My opponent's rated 864. This is unrated. And we've got the King's Pawn opening. He's brought out his knight. Let's play knight c6 and see where we go. Okay, Italian style. Okay. Now, if I play knight here, I'm inviting the knight to come in with a fried liver attack. But then I have the idea of this little fellow. Okay, he's not gone for the fried liver, so he's decided to castle instead. Now, do I still want to prevent the knight from coming in to this square? I can actually take this. Then I've got rook here. Let's try that, that might be fun. It's unrated. Okay, but this surely just loses piece. Okay, now he can attack the knight. I can defend, but then he can attack again. And shall I have to move? So, now if I take the bishop there, queen takes knight is a fork on knight and thing, but then I can, no, I can't move the knight back. This is interesting. I've got this, defends the knight, attacks the bishop. Let's try that. Always look for, you know, say, okay, this is my problem. My problem is the queen's attacking my knight's undefended, yeah? And think of any possible solution. Okay, now he's attacking the knight, but the knight isn't pinned because that knight is protecting, so I think I can move back, and now again we have options. Where do we want to move? That seems natural, very natural. That, not so sure. That, definitely not. That, definitely not. Let's just move the knight back. I'm actually 2 pieces up for a pawn already, so this is good stuff. Well, think about an attacking idea. Maybe bishop here. Bishop here. Could let him even take there. Let's just push ahead with this plan. And then threat mate on here. Oops. But again, huge mistake, right? You can see, I could almost tell that he was only looking at the white pieces in this game. Right, so let's just go through again. So, standard opening, Italian game. Knight f6. And so the fried liver would definitely be an option here. But I'd probably try the Traxler counterattack in response, particularly at somebody sub 1000. But he decides to castle. Okay, and he's got a hanging pawn. Right? I do not have a hanging pawn because I've played knight c6, defending the pawn. He played bishop c4, leaving this pawn undefended. Right? So what was my last move? Knight f6. Okay, what's the knight doing? It's attacking the pawn. Is the pawn defended? No, it ain't. So what he should have done is knight c3, d4, d3, sorry, defend the pawn, and castle later once you've got your coordination in place. Yeah, but he wasn't thinking about that. It was just tunnel visioned, castled, drops a pawn, and now I have, you know, I have to calculate. So I spent longer than him, right, on these moves. So I spent 19.8 seconds on that move. He only spent 3.3 deciding to castle. Right, guy's got 9 minutes 53 seconds left on his clock. It's a 10-minute game. He's playing a high-rated opponent. Take your damn time. Okay. Now knight comes in, captures a pawn, but again he loses a knight. Okay. Again, I take twice as long to think about it as he did, and now I'm attacking his bishop. So no matter what he's doing, I would expect him to play something like this, right? And he does indeed play queen e2. I could have captured the bishop now, but that, like I say, would have been a fork with check. So have a think. 21 seconds. So he only spent 5. Right? He's trying to lose as quickly as possible. Attack the bishop. And then he takes again, leaving his bishop undefended. Now he's 2 pieces down for a single pawn, right? Now he attacks the knight. That's not a major threat. The knight's not pinned. The knight simply retreats. Now the bishop comes out, attacking the knight again. I'm 2 pieces up, remember? So any exchanges are only good for me. Now, at this point, if he was above 1000, I mean, to be honest, I struggle to believe he's 864 at this because of the complete lack of attention he was playing to my moves. Why did my opponent play that move? It's on our checklist, right? Do it every time. Why did my opponent play that move? Well, to me, if I saw that, I would think he wants to put his bishop there, and then he's got his queen and bishop lined up here, right? So there's an immediate checkmate threat, okay? In addition, he probably has ideas of castling because he has no d-pawn, and he'll get his rook straight onto the d8 square, okay, and controlling the semi-open file and getting the king off the open e-file, right? But no, he just goes ahead and captures the knight, and I go, okay, because I know this is a question of timing. I know with my bishop here, queen takes g2 as checkmate, so he hasn't got time to cause any more trouble. He can't take there. Doesn't matter, I'll checkmate him anyway, right? And also attack the bishop, right? Got to ask yourself the question, why did my opponent make that move? And here, he's lined up 3 attackers against the knight, right? But he's completely neglected king safety. Rule number 1, rule number 2, is my king safe? Is my king safe? Yeah. Why did my opponent make that move? What are my opponent's plans? Is it more important to frustrate my opponent's plans or to push forward with my own? If your king is in checkmate threat, you've got to stop your opponent's plans. There ain't no question about that. You just got to stop it and survive. Okay. So here, he could have just pushed the pawn forward, for example, instead of the rook move. So something like this, okay? And then I'll probably take the bishop. Then he can bring out a knight. So let's say I take the bishop, he brings out a knight, attacks my queen. My knight is pinned against the king. I drop the queen back here, let's say. Now he might push the pawn, attack the pinned piece. Then maybe I castle, he gets my knight. It's not the end of the world. The queen's defending that, However, then probably rook there. And if he just does something silly like this, then I'll just go boom. That's forced. Boom. King moves to there. Boom. Okay, king's in check. Only one legal move. Back to here. And then we have what's called the seesaw. Okay, he's in check again, has to move back. Blah, blah. King moves here. Now I come here. King moves here, I win the knight, and it's all over. King moves here. Oops. No, he can't go there. So let's say he brings out his other rook. I play like bishop to here, and my bishops are now looking pretty deadly. So I'm 2 pieces up. It's just simply a 1 game. Okay, but there you go. So quick lesson: if you're sub 1,000, just don't forget. Don't forget. Number 1, king safety. Number 2, why did my opponent make that move? Introduce that. Just force yourself to do it every single blooming move. Okay, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to sit on my hands until I've said, okay, is my king safe? Right? Which here, clearly, right? After this, there. After this move, is my king safe? Well, what's the potential threat? Okay, that's the only check. But is the queen defended? Oh dear, yes, the queen is defended. Yeah, I better do something. Yeah. That's it, and you'll win more games and you'll screw up less. Yeah. So quick lesson in maybe how not to screw up. Of course, I can't castle here because the bishop's guarding that, but we can do something about that. Yeah. But here it seemed like my opponent was just trying to lose as quickly as possible. So there you go. Okay guys, so hope that's useful. Thanks for watching. See you later.